Storm of 2005, Hurricane Wilma, continues to lash out at the southwest coastline of Florida, now with winds 120 miles an hour.
Can you believe it? Strengthening here as it moves in.
It looks like we're going to continue to see that storm plowing on into the southwest corner of Florida. In fact, our own Mike Seidel reporting from Key West to keep us updated. Mike, what's the latest?
Well, we're going to try to keep the signal on as long as we can. We've got wind banging around the dish and this rain fade. Look at the water already pulling up in the streets. It's raining pretty hard, but they have pretty good drainage here. Look at how the wind just blows. It's pitch black just about, and the wind is whipping right up here. Duval is left and right. Is all the media from Miami and the national media, and they're all kind of hunkered down. Woo! You can get a sense. Look at that. Forget the hat at this point. It is just wicked out here tonight. Now that I've got my hood down, boy, that rainfall is stinging. These sustained winds now up over 60 miles an hour. You got to stay low so you don't blow around. It's 4 days we watched this thing. We knew it was going to get here eventually. It took its sweet time. Fortunately, it's not nearly as bad as it was in Cozumel and Cancun, but we will more than likely get wind gusts over 100 miles an hour. Ooh. I assume, are you still able to see us out here?
No, Mike, we still have you.
Yeah, can you still see us? It's amazing we're getting a picture out with this rainfall, but we've got great truck protection. That's the key. If you ever get into TV and you cover storms like we do, the first thing we look for, well, the second thing we look for, the first thing we look for is a good restaurant. Second thing we look for is a building that can block you from the wind so you can keep the dish up as long as possible. Most of these dishes can't broadcast, but we're doing a pretty good job so far. You get a sense of the wind just taking this rain horizontally, whoa, right down Fleming Street. In fact, it's knocking our light around pretty good. We're going to stay out here all night long for you. We got about 3 or 4 more hours of this, and then we should be in the clear, say, around 7 or 8 in the morning. It's going to be Let's try to meet back here in a few minutes. We'll see what else we can.
It was Mike Seidel reporting live as it's occurring right now from Key West, Florida. The difficulty of trying to transmit through winds and keeping the satellite dish in line and the heavy rains coming down is really difficult.
Yeah, but he's doing a great job out there. Well, let's go ahead and show you the bottom line with this before we head over to our next reporter here. But Wilma bearing down on Florida. The impacts will be significant and widespread. The winds are now increasing rapidly in the lower Keys.
I should note also, Betty, is that the storm continues to strengthen. Now 120 mile an hour winds in the eye wall of the storm and moving rapidly, now moving northeast at about 20 miles an hour. As we try to keep you updated on what's going on in those areas, especially into South Florida, we have another updated report of what's going on around Key West. This one filed a little bit earlier from WFOR's Dave Milkoff. Dave?
On the surface, I took an anemometer reading, and that is not in any way completely accurate because we've got buildings around here that the wind is whipping around, and when it hits the ground, it kind of swirls up. But on the surface right here, as the wind is blowing against me, the gust that you're seeing right here, that is about 20 miles an hour as that's hitting me. Up there, when you would get an accurate reading, when the gusts come through, here in Key West, at least, we are getting a 74 mile per hour gust at this point. Now, you see there are all sorts of lights here on the street, and it's illuminated, but the only reason that it's illuminated is because of the television crews down here. We've got basically all the networks, all the local stations here in Miami, and that is why we're illuminated here. Let me show you something over here. If we walk over to the edge here, as the water is coming through, it is, I guess, about 2 inches here, and it just started splashing down here about a couple hours ago. So we're already getting 2 inches here. We are 3 feet above sea level, but there are lots of areas down that way that are not above sea level. In some cases, they are below sea level. So the storm surge is a real problem, the most deadly part of our hurricane. From Key West, I'm Dave Valkoff for the Weather Channel.
And again, that was reported about an hour ago from Dave Malkoff with WFOR from Key West. Now we're doing sort of looking in on Dave and our own Mike Seidel as they discuss what's going on in the horizontal rains blasting on through the Key West area. Both of them, I guess, comparing notes on the strength of this storm. They are on one of the stronger bands of rain as it continues to come on in and buffeting the Key West area.
Yeah, they may have to lean on one another there to try to keep standing up with those winds continually picking up there.
Before Key West Airport, not too far from where they're at, lost their anemometer signal. They were reporting wind gusts at about 78 miles an hour. So I'm sure these gentlemen are feeling winds in the downtown area, something in the neighborhood of 60 to 75 mile an hour winds. So if you're somewhere across South Florida, this is what you will experience sometime during the course of the day today. If not in Key West now, maybe Miami, Fort Lauderdale, probably by the noon hour.
Yeah, and the eye of Hurricane Wilma is about 75 miles west-northwest of Key West, Florida. So with this moving on off at 20 miles an hour, it is just a matter of time before we see this making that landfall.
Again, you get the feel of what the impact of the storm is doing as they're bent over trying to stand up against the force of that wind to their backs right now, of winds approaching hurricane force up to 75 miles an hour. Again, that is not even the center of where the eye wall will pass. It'll pass to their north, so brace yourself, Southwest Florida. The heaviest is yet to move on in.
Well, keep it tuned here. We've got a lot more Wilma coverage coming right up. This is the Weather Channel.